So, over the course of 1 year, I did it. I found it. Sorry. I played every Fnaf game on consoles, and suffered a lot. Hello?
Like this? No. Wait. Are you flippin' kidding me, bro?
I'm warning you. I didn't take a shower. Oh shoot, that ain't good. Hey. I just gotta sprint. Full sprint. No! Wait, what?! But now that it's all over, I can finally touch grass. It's time I tell you my thoughts and experiences on all of these games. Starting with... Five Nights at Freddy's 1 was my very first horror game I ever even had a thought of playing. Funnily enough, it was all the reviews and the news that spread about FNAF Security Breach sucking when it first released. I watched one of MatPat's game theories, and then I suddenly felt the need to buy each game, one by one. So after reviewing the Ultimate Guide and learning the strategy towards FNAF, I was ready. My first reaction was met with fear. I was very unsure if this being my first experience with any form of a horror game.
12 a.m. first night. I'm not sure about this.
But the atmosphere was nailed out of the park. This game might just be the best out of all of them for that. The creepy cobwebs, the just muted colors, the steady wind of the fan just gives you such an unsettling chill that later games don't have. Surprisingly, I managed to get through first night without dying, but it was the second night where I've, of course, met my fate to Foxy. I will never forgive him for that.
Behind me. Or that happened, sure. And we're dead. Okay.
I won't go into all the mechanics of every animatronic, but know this. Stupid Freddy brought out a new sense of fury towards a game I hadn't seen myself. I had to literally look up guides on how to beat Freddy.
Wait, what?
Not just that, but this game was difficult. I didn't expect it to be this hard, and it all stemmed from power management. I just really sucked at that, so I would meet my end to Freddy very often. But to me, this game holds a special place as it was my first experience with such a game in the horror franchise. Is the game perfect? No. Its atmosphere, sorta good at jump scares, and challenge made for a fun and engaging experience. Let's hope the sequel can keep up with this. I was so hyped going into this due to the fact of how cool the sequel, or more like prequel, was. It was everything the original was, but so much more. More animatronics, more mechanics, more lore, and even more of a challenge. This is my personal favorite out of the original 4 games in the series, because I just enjoy the challenge, animatronics, and mechanics more. It all feels more fluid than the first game, other than the later change to the vent light controls. Click team, make it back to only being A, not B2. Sorry, you wouldn't get it unless you played it. Something I should note, as since I was playing this on consoles, this meant there was a very tricky element I had to conquer, the controller. However, the games were extremely well done in this case, as the controller worked wonder over the cameras and doors. Later games, maybe not so much, but this game rocked it with the controls. I probably have set a world record with my personal strategy for this game. This game also includes probably my favorite cast of characters in a FNAF game, especially secret characters, like Toy Bonnie, Big Boy Freddy, Shadow Bonnie, the Withered animatronics, and of course, the stupid puppets. FNAF 2 might not be the greatest in atmosphere-wise, FNAF 1 still gets such a trophy, but this one just has such a more interesting setting than the last, as well with the added challenge of tripling the amount of animatronics. This game holds up. If I had to pick any of the original 4 to replay through, it would be this one. Out of the original 4, this is my least favorite. There, I said it. However, I don't think that should take much to see. This game changes a lot. That change isn't always a bad thing, but I just couldn't get on board with this. Okay, I'll admit, Springtrap is the one main highlight I draw from this experience, but his jump scare, dude.
This is bad, this is bad, you little flippy.
I find this one just boring as you're sitting there just tapping a camera to play audio, getting an error, and going to fix it. It's so repetitive. Well, that's kind of how all the Fnaf games are, but anyways, the atmosphere to me just never stuck. Like, it's a great idea, a Freddy Fazbear-themed haunted attraction. Ooh. But in execution, it just looks like a lot of green. Like, a lot of green. I could see it being cooler in many other ways, but this just isn't it. Now, on the topic of controls, the stupid reboot monitor drove me crazy, as in the heat of panic, I flip it up quickly and push my joystick too much and click on the wrong reboot. Then I have to wait to click on the right one, but by then, Springtrap was already at my door. Dude, just add a button to cancel the current thing you're rebooting. It's such an easy fix. Heck, this game was so lame it didn't even have a custom night. Instead, it had Nightmare Mode. Ooh. But Nightmare Mode's actually, it's 6 night, but okay. It also had an aggressive Nightmare Mode. But that's only unlocked by finding all the hidden arcade games. But that's super hard on console, so I really couldn't be bothered. I can see how this was the game my friend All-Star stopped on, as it's just boring and repetitive, not as interesting as the other series. It's not as bad as some of the other titles we'll talk about, but there's just a lot of other games that are better. Such as... Out of every game, controls-wise, this would have been the easiest one to screw up. But get this, it wasn't! I know, it's crazy, right? FNAF 4 is the most terrifying game of all the original 7, not to mention possibly the most challenging of the original 4, and I love it for all of that. Scott had planned this to be the big finale, and he did a good job, upping the scare factor to such a monumental rate, not only with the designs of the animatronics, but the gameplay featuring them. You have to go door to door, sticking your ear halfway into your headphones to listen for the slightest hint of breathing from a demon in the dark. Then you flash your light to confirm nothing is there, but if you do it wrong, your ears get blown off your head as the jump scare blasts into your headphones. What I'm saying is this game is fun and scary, and that's all it had to be. Controls were even well done, and this time there's 8 nights. 8! Man, he could not keep up with the title there, could he? Still haven't been 20 out of 20 out of 20 out of 20 yet. Maybe soon on a video. I kind of already tried it, but it's actually really hard. That and maybe the Halloween content at some point. However, my favorite part of this game is the boss fights. That all of a sudden just happen halfway through later nights.
Oh no, wait. That means either he's here. Oh my lord.
With Fredbear, and even worse, Nightmare. And these guys aren't just tough, they're freaking terrifying, dude.
Oh my gosh!
So yeah, great game with its great difficulty, scare factor, and horrifying atmosphere. Now, let's hope FNAF 5 doesn't do anything crazy new that could shift the entire fanbase, or make me hate it with a burning passion.
Duh.
3, 2, 7.
7. That would be 8.
3,
3.
8.
3. 8. I was getting there.
7.
2. 7. No! That should tell you all you need to know. I have never had a game break me before, until I played this one. Yeah, going into this, I was super duper hyped as I just beat the first 4, and now everything was changing with the next game and it was gonna be so cool. I could move now, crazy. I thought it was cool, but now this game is my least favorite in the entire series, but let's start with the positives, shall we? Very few, if there is any. Number 1. The game setting is a very cool idea, and nails the atmosphere being super creepy. Number 2, I really like all the new animatronics and designs. They just have something about them with those cool faceplates that split open when you die. I just really like them. Number 3, this is the peak of FNAF jump scares. not counting the bad custom night ones. Number 4, night 2 is good. Yeah, this is the only good night. Maybe night 3 if I'm being generous. Okay, on to my rant. That's all the positives there is to say about this game. Let's start with one of my biggest points. This, right here, the cursor. If you ever see a built-in cursor in your console game, click off the game immediately, snap your controller in half, throw a boulder at your new Xbox Series X, then burn your house down. Well, maybe not that last one. But I'm not joking, this cursor is the biggest driving issue I had with this game, as it's very wonky with its hitbox, allowing you not to hit the right button very easily, even on PC. Another thing I must complain about is the game is just the most bare bones thing ever I've played. Really dumb scripted events that you could predict by the minute, and like no cool minigames. The best, most FNAF-y minigame is in Night 2, when you're dealing with the breaker switches. That crap, that felt like FNAF. That was kind of fun. And that's literally the best mini game there is in this horrid game. Nights 4 and 5 took me simultaneously about maybe a whole month or even 2 months to complete. Not to mention I was kind of playing through FNAF VR, I took a break from Sister Location and played a better game. But we'll get there when we get there. But the difficulty spike in Night 4 is no joke. I watched over 4 guides on beating Night 4, enabled different controls, and even had to play the game on my stream twice, possibly 3 times. That's like 3 hours of streaming, just to get my recording of me beating both nights. After I beat the 4th night, I felt so accomplished, as if I had beat the most hardest challenge in a FNAF game.
Alright, it might just be time to whine. Yeah, it's time to whine. It's just time to whine for everything we can get out of it. Oh my gosh! I've done it! I just beat the hardest challenge in a FNAF game!
Here's a pro tip. Enable this button. It helps a lot. Also, this whole segment is 3 minutes. There you go. You're welcome. Hopefully I saved you a whole hour of your life. But I didn't know what was coming next. Night 5. This night broke me even more. And it was all the fault of a keypad. Oh my gosh. This keypad. That dumb, stinking keypad. Every game, it was randomized the numbers that you have to press, and it's not easy when your cursor is pretty hard to hit the right number. The buttons are so tiny, dude! Every game, when Stupid Baby finished her monologue, I pushed the wrong number on the keypad and have to restart the thing all over again, with no form of autosaves. Nothing! But finally, on a stream, after 10 tries at the stupid thing, this finally happened.
9, 6, 7, 9, 8, 1, 6, 7, 7. Good. A hatch should have opened. Now you must
Bet your
turn
butt
back.
it did. That wasn't even one of the hardest parts of the night. The next problem was how the second part of the night was handled. Okay, so she tells you to follow her directions, but Maskless Ennard catches you. Now I got this far, but didn't know what to do now. To follow her directions and stay ahead of Ballora, you must hold down LB, because that triggers you sprinting, and make sure you have your joystick pointed the right direction. When she says go straight, then left, she means go northwest with your joystick. You're welcome. I just saved you from breaking a controller and from dying twice on that segment to get sent all the way back to the keypad. And finally the game was over, and now I hate it. Man, what happened with this game on consoles? Well, consoles can't even really be the blame for such boring slogs like climbing an event, trekking through a dark hall. Real engaging stuff there. I didn't even bother with the Ennard ending or getting custom night, since that was locked behind beating the Ennard night, and the fact that you had to beat Night 5's keypad section again, I knew I wasn't doing it. just save your sanity and skip this awful mess, or play it on a computer. It still won't be great in there, but it's better than using a controller. This game is good. I really enjoyed my time with it, and even better, no cursor. Well, I guess we should start by designing people. No! It's the cursor! No! I enjoyed the build your own pizzeria part a lot. That's a cool idea, and it was just really fun in execution. And all controls are spot on how you'd expect to play this game with a controller. Then you have the audio sections in which you pull a piece of paper much too close to your face and die. I just suck at these parts. But these parts are okay, a little boring at times, but whatever. Then the office section. I mean, this could be much easier on computer, but the way the controls are implemented aren't that bad. It's like a mix of Fnaf free gameplay with just 4 animatronics and no cameras. Not as engaging as the other office sections in other Fnaf games, but it's okay. It's now its sister location, and that's all that matters. However, these sections were more of the most annoying part, as they could be just challenging towards timing and listening, the balance of everything, but eventually you'll get the hang of it and you'll be able to beat it. Even though it'll be hard, and you'll have to turn off the monitor again and again, and wait, and wait, and then turn it back on. Oh wait, did you hear that? Turn it back off. Okay, turn it back on. It's alright, the office section isn't that bad. But those jump scares, dude. How did we take a huge leap forward and then take so many steps back? This jump scare is worse than spring traps. It's like a JPEG, just and that's it. I mean, come on, these are just pathetically scary. If there wasn't that loud noise, I wouldn't even be scared. It's just a picture. Finally, I must talk about the end. Even though I had watched this ending so many times over again, to finally experience it firsthand as I was playing was simply just an amazing experience, as I had worked so hard to get that point, taking me 41 videos to get there in nearly half a year. And the ending just gives you chills and a sense of completion. It wraps up everything really nice with a nice little bow, and is just such a good send-off for the series. It really conveys the sense of this is the end, and that's just great. So yeah, this game's pretty good. The free sections, they're pretty alright. Not a cursor in sight. So now that FNAF is over, we can finally say that we've reviewed every FNAF game. Wait. What?
This ends, for all of us, in communication.
Not to brag, but my high score on consoles is 5,000. This year, everyone, was the big bonus ending to FNAF, as we got to play as Afton and his personal hell. A hell we got to customize. This time, with over 50 animatronics, this is, of course, the hardest game in the franchise. There is so much to keep track of here that it's nearly impossible just to complete 1 out of 20 mode. I would know, because I couldn't complete 1 out of 20 mode. You have to keep a balance of your power, cameras, ventilation, duct system, noise levels, temperature, fast coins, the music box, Freddy mask, and catching fish. Yeah, that last one's really annoying. However, if there was any game that could have had its mechanics so easily screwed up on the controller, it was this one. But somehow, in some way, they aren't. Every button, every action is accounted for in a way that makes sense, making this vastly complicated amount of things all viable with just a single controller. And it works wonders, making the hardest game even possibly beatable on consoles. Of course, I couldn't beat it. I still want to keep my last bits of sanity. Thank you very much. I love this game for its diverse amount of characters from every game across the series, and the personalities it brings to all of them to make them all feel more alive, for better or for worse.
Orville, not every story has to have significance, you know? Sometimes a story is just a story. if you try to read into every little thing and find...
Except for Deity, she can go die in a fire. Also, the replayability on this title is crazy, as there's always some challenge beckoning to be beat that I may come back to it on my own time in the future and attempt adding more to my last score. But what incentive is there for me to keep getting better scores? Well, better scores nab you new office skins and cutscenes, and these cutscenes include, yes, Fnaf anime, and it is weirdly amazing. Not to mention the free trophies to grab by beating 40 out of 20 mode, 45 out of 20 mode, and 50 out of 20 mode. This game is just such a fun bonus challenge to end off the era of point-and-click FNAF. And hey, if you're wondering what it's actually like to take on these challenges, well, you're in luck, as I asked my fellow FNAF YouTuber ScoutPeek, who actually has managed to beat UCN on 45 out of 20 mode, to say a few things about it. So, without further ado, take it away, ScoutPeek.
Hey, I'm ScoutPeek, and I have my own channel where I make Five Nights at Freddy's content. Thank you, Squidfish, for including me in this video. Now, let's start with the questions.
Alrighty, ScoutPeek. For your first question, what are your opinions on UCN looking at it from a game standpoint?
So, my opinion on UCN as a game is just that it's pretty genius. Everything has a place in a system. It's put together very well. Besides the fact that it's very difficult, it's fun to play. It's very fun to learn and master. Definitely the hardest FNAF game, but overall, I think it's a good game.
For my second question, what was it like having to keep track of all the frets, and how did you learn to do it?
So for this, obviously, it was just stressful. However, I got used to it. The beginning of the night is usually the most challenging part of it. The way I learned how to do it was everybody had their own little section, so I just practiced with one section and then started building it up over time. Still, I wouldn't say it's easy, but I've kind of started to get the hang of it.
Question 3. How long did it take you to finally beat 45 out of 20?
Beating it actually didn't really take that long. I would say that it only took maybe about 5 days.
And how did you feel once you finally beat 45 out of 20?
So, the first time, the second it hit 6 a.m., the emotions were relief and excitement. It was just a lot of emotions of just yes, I finally got it. But then later in the day, it was more just wow, I just did that.
Who is your favorite and least favorite of the animatronics?
So, in Ultimate Custom Night, there are some characters that are actually, useful, but favorite, the one, Helpy, because he's useful. He gives you fast coins if you click on him, which can be used for strategy, but I guess I'm also going to say Toy Bonnie just because he's just a character I like. And then least favorite, most people that play Ultimate Custom Night will also tell you this, but Funtime Foxy. Reason being is that she forces you to lift up the cams. And well, in case if you don't know, lifting up the cams is one of the worst things you can do because it gives everybody an opportunity to jump scare you. So yeah, it's bad. So much so that Funtime Foxy even has her own strategy just to get rid of her, which is just death coining her or fast coin farming. So yeah. But I would also say that regular Foxy's also up there because again, he also has his own strategy against him.
And of course, for my final question, do you plan on returning to beat 50 out of 20 mode anytime soon?
Okay, so I feel I have to, I did all the steps for it, so now it's just time to do it. But the reason why it isn't done yet is, because I haven't really had time, and it's just difficult, extremely difficult. It's gonna take time. And honestly, I don't really know if I will be able to, but I will try. I plan streaming the attempts on Twitch for the challenge, but I haven't really had time. But if I do find time, I'll definitely do it.
Now, just like that, we have reviewed the first 7 FNAF games on consoles. From simple offices to the depths of hell, the original 7 FNAF games. I must say, I honestly expected worse from these games on consoles, excluding Sister Location, which was the worst. The controls are all very well done. Other than Sister Location, this is a great way to experience the original 7 FNAF games. Thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing, as this video has been my most ambitious project yet and has taken me nearly 5 months to complete. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will see you all in part 2, where I review another 5 games, and a little of the movie, and the merch, and books. Oh, Lord. But wait! Before you go, I need your help with something. This channel right here is an imposter. A Roblox YouTuber. Ugh. He's my new archenemy. I need your help in subscribing to help me overtake him in subscribers so I will be the ultimate top Squidfish on YouTube.